Hello dear students, welcome back to this video again. And this is the last video of week 6 where I will try to explain what is the importance of news and information literacy. Why do we have to become news and information literate? Let's try to find out. So the changes that we discussed in our earlier video, I would like to remind you people about that how this huge shift of media environment has also brought along with it changes in the development of various media forms and in the kinds of contents and in the nature of the audiences even, and how that has led us to define a new age where which signify that how fast we are developing, how fast we are changing, and we are on a race where we are isolating ourselves from a large section of people day by day. So keeping all those changes in our mind, it's important to realize that what those changes has also brought to us. It has brought a large amount of information today, as I repeatedly, discussed in my earlier videos and in the class also, how information overload has become a serious concern for us, and how we have time and again failed to keep up with the information. So the best way to keep up with the information that is in a big quantity, in a big number before us, is to become knowledgeable about those information, is to become literate, is to develop abilities and skills to verify the facts and figures of the information, and take the right ones and give away the wrong ones, right? So this is why it's important to become news and information literate in order to you know cross check the information, in order to verify the news content. So along with that, it's not only it do not end only up to there. It do not end there, because along with that there has also emerged this problem of gatekeeping thing. um, I'm very sure that you remember the gatekeeping theory that we discussed in our class, how the sub-editor or the editor is the gatekeeper in a news media outlet, right? In a media outlet, and how the importance of that gatekeeper has diminished today with the rise of the digital platforms. And that is why it's now upon us, it's now the responsibility of each and every users, each and every people lying there in the audiences, to become a gatekeeper. So earlier, in the traditional mass media form, in that platform, you have to recruit a gatekeeper. So if I say so, that we have to recruit a sub editor and an editor. So but in today's age of this internet, you don't have to recruit, you just have to develop that skill into you. So each and every users must become gatekeeper today, and that is why it's very important to become a news and information literate in order to become a gatekeeper. So gatekeeper is not an easy job. It's also about verifying the facts and figures, very tracing out the sources of the information where it is coming from. So in social media, where there is an information overload, it becomes very important for gatekeeper, even a gatekeeper, to you know to put him on the gate and you know verify the information, to scrutinize and then filtering out the information in order to reach to one particular person. For example, say if you are recruiting a gatekeeper, say in a traditional form, if I want to you know make you people understand in this way, that say in my office I have kept a gatekeeper outside my gate. Okay, so information before reaching to me, it will come through the gatekeeper, and he has the complete authority to pass that information, because he will scrutinize, he will verify the information whether that information should come to my table or not. But in today's age, I am not only limited to this office. I have my own personal account. I'm there in Facebook, I'm there in Twitter, I'm there in LinkedIn, I'm there in everywhere. Social media, there has developed different platforms of mass media today. So how many gatekeepers are you putting? So how many gatekeepers you will recruit, and how different ways you will try to restrict information to come to your table, right? So with the rise of the numbers of information, the sea of information, there has also developed the platforms of media, and all these huge numbers of content and huge number of platforms have only made difficult for us to get through all those information, even on a single platform. So it's not possible for us to become a gatekeeper even in this digital age. So that is why it is believed that there is no gatekeeping in digital age. Even if you try to block some content, it will come the other way anyhow the very next moment, right? So that is why it is very important in order to develop this ability to understand which content is important and which is not, because it then only you can restrict an information reaching to you. You can't depend upon another person now. You can't depend upon another, you can't depend upon the media now. You have to become yourself literate in order to block content that you don't want or which is not important to you, you don't want to come to you. Then you have to become literate by your own. And along with that, as in my earlier video I discussed about how fast we are moving ahead, and in that race we are also how fast we are leaving a large chunk of the people. So that is conceptualized as a digital divide, which has become a new field of study today. Various world leading non-government organizations are running projects, huge projects on digital divide, digital inequalities, right? Where still there is a large chunk of people, especially in the developing countries like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, most of the South Asian countries. You'll find that how people are facing this problem of digital inequalities. So there has emerged two different space within a world, where a section of people are consuming the digital content, a huge amount of information, whereas the other section of people, a large section of people, are they are out of that digital assimilation because of various different factors, because of the economic inequalities, because of the social inequalities, because of the digital illiteracies. So that's why this is where news and information literacy plays a role. It also play a role in in diminishing the digital inequalities among the societies. Okay, so what other than that we also are very we should be worried about is the privacy and the security thing that has emerged today. Time and again we have seen how the founder and CEO of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, has been brought within the purview of law in in relation to the privacy and the security thing that he needs to develop in the Facebook social media site that he developed, right? So that proves that how digital literate he has become. Every time when he is asked a question about how do you do you prove, or what are you doing in this field in order to protect the data of the people from from getting it used by different people, a group of people or organization for profit making? How do you assure people about the data, their security, their data privacy? And every time he comes up with a plan, and every time he develops a new feature in the Facebook, because he is very much aware of this privacy, the data privacy thing. And this proves that how he is also becoming a digital literate day by day. So that is about digital literacy. I'm not appealing every one of you to become or think like Mark Zuckerberg, but at least we can at least block the content which is inappropriate before reaching to us, right? Or before reaching to the public. We can't at least stop sharing all those inappropriate contents, whether it is political or whether that is obscene contents, right? So we can at least do that on from our part. So that is also digital literate. That is also becoming, that is how we become media literate. And we have such a huge uh, large number of mass media resources today. So we can also take the help of all these media resources in order to create awareness, right, about the proper use of these resources itself. Okay, so this is how we should come up with, this is how we become literate, and this is how we share knowledge about digital literacy, you taking the help of these digital devices in itself, right? So these are all the factors that matters to us, right? And that is why it has laid, all these factors have laid the importance of news and information literacy course, right? The importance to become a news and information literate, and finally a media literate as a whole. Okay, so I think this is what we have for this week lessons about news and information literacy. So we will meet again in week 7, where we will be discussing in detail about all the factors, the challenges that has come up with uh, the digitalization, with the development of different mass media forms. Okay, so till then, uh, thank you.